So I came across this really cool wildflower bloom back toward the beginning of September at Marshall Lake, which is basically just a dry lake bed at this point, but it's not too far southeast of Flagstaff along Lake Mary Road. And I think that these flowers were Showy Goldeneye, which is a pretty widespread wildflower across the American West, across the mountainous regions. And the bloom was almost exclusively this one flower, and I thought it was fantastic. Marshall Lake is not the lake it used to be, just like Mormon Lake or Upper Lake Mary. But what makes these dry lake beds so great is that not only do you get these fantastic displays of wildflowers during the monsoon season, but they're hotspots for elk and deer and any animal that likes to come out to these open fields, especially in the evening and at nighttime. They actually like to chomp on these wildflowers specifically. And so they're great places to view wildlife. Now, there are some little marshy areas that are left in Marshall Lake. There's a little bit of standing water left in spots. I've read that in the past, the lake has been stocked with trout. I can tell you that at the moment, that is definitely not happening. At least nothing I saw could ever support a good population of trout or any fishing at all. But what was cool about the Marshall Lake area was there was a lot of dispersed camping in the area. So there's a little dirt road that leads from a paved road that connects to Lake Mary Road that leads to Marshall Lake. So the dirt road is in pretty bad shape. There's a lot of deep grooves. There's a lot of deep potholes. It's definitely maneuverable if you're in any car, if you're careful and you drive slow enough. But what's great is that there's plenty of open camping spots along this dirt road that goes to and around Marshall Lake. And I'd highly recommend camping at some point, but not during the monsoon season, not during the time that I visited, because the mosquitoes were horrendous. They were like comparable to Minnesota almost. So I would recommend camping at a different time of year, but visiting during the end of August or beginning of September so you can see these magnificent wildflowers.